tell us here though, because you know you were saying about how you had some respect for the SWP in the early days, yeah? Because they helped you to read, didn't they, and all that kind of stuff.
I know, I really do appreciate them for that.
But later on, that they were doing some pretty shady stuff, weren't they? You know, because and that shows you there's a lesson in this when it comes down to who you trust.
I'll speak to you again. I'll see you at Ken's, right?
Right, cool.
Okay. See you later.
Have you got your number then, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll be in
Ken's
touch.
That might be me. I'll pass it on to you.
I'll give it. Right, Ken's got it. Ken, I'll give you a ring tomorrow. All right, mate. Good to see you. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
So,
I'm assuming it's still running anyway. I'm assuming this thing is still running anyway.
yeah.
So tell us then, you know, what happened when you did things like when you rescued a load of copies of the Socialist Worker from the rubbish bins at the bottom of the flats. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Right.
That was, I forget his name, I've got his name in my little black book. Him and his wife was Sarah Carver in Glen Carver.
Alright.
Yeah, she ended up as a assistant editor to the Manchester Evening News. Sarah Carver.
Alright.
Yeah. And anyway, I joined their party because I liked the name of it, you know, Revolutionary Party.
Yeah.
Right? And they used to have the meetings and they talk about Marx and Engels, Trotsky and all that. And it took me, I was a member for 3 years before I found out who Karl Marx was. Well, I laughed. You know, I kept hearing this name at the meetings because they had a school, you had to go to a school over the weekend. And they kept these speakers full of, the brains full of knowledge, you know.
Sticking out of their ears, yeah.
Talking about the Russian Revolution, the Bolsheviks and all that. Right. Didn't talk down in working class language, used like lumpen proletariat, bourgeois, petit bourgeois, you know, which is, it's never spoken on the streets, but they just like to impress people with their knowledge. But I started to question their politics, and I started asking questions. Barry will remember me. You know Barry?
Yeah.
Barry Woodland. Great lad. Give me a book there to read about Bakunin.
Oh yeah.
Another one of my heroes. Michael Bakunin. And these people hated Bakunin.
Yeah.
They bollocked Barry for giving me that book. They said it shouldn't have been at the meeting. Bakunin. So I found out a bit more about Bakunin. But the biggest laugh was when I went to these schools and they kept saying about Marx. So they said, right comrades, question time, anyone's got a question? So I put my hand up. I said, right comrade Ken, what's your question? I said, I sat here for a bleeding hour, listening to you sprouting on about Engels and Karl Marx, I said, so who the fuck is Karl Marx? They said, you mean to tell me you sat here all these weeks, you know, on the coming in and that, and you don't know who Karl Marx is? I said, no, because you've not fucking told me.
Right.
No.
Yeah. And that's his job, isn't it? Should have been. Yeah.
I said, the trouble with you is you're trying to drag me up to your level. I said, and you, as long as you've got an hole in your heart, I said, this party will never expand I said it would keep to an elitist group, right? I said who were going to college and stuff like that, and then when this end of term, they're looking round for something to do, so they join the party, right?
Yeah.
To spend the time like spouting off how clever they are, you know, and half the time they're in the pubs drinking, you know. And I've asked them, I says, which I won't say on video, I've asked them to do real revolutionary gear, you know what I mean? And they don't want to know.
No.
They don't want to know it. I said, so what right have you got to say you're a revolutionary party? I said, where's that book?
The book.
I said, and I held this up, and I said this.
All right.
Michael Bakunin's Revolutionary Catechism. And that tells you, that in here, it tells you what the duties of a revolutionary is, how he shall behave, and what his aims are. And it has no bearing, this has no bearing on what these so-called revolutionary parties are talking about today. Absolutely no bearing on it.
Yeah.
And anyone who was found with this book in their possession in the early 1900s and 1800s, he was executed on the spot.
Right.
For having it.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? That's how dangerous it is, this book. So, ask about this book, but you'll find it very hard to get this book. Right? So, those who are lucky to have one in a cupboard somewhere, get it out and get it printed and get it into the hands of the youth.
You'll be able to get it online, I think,
Yeah.
won't you? Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah, you should be.
Now, so, them, and I asked them, we went to an unemployed workers meeting, you know, at which the SWP called. And called this meeting, and it was going on about the unemployed and why there was so much unemployment. So I said, put my hand up like a good comrade. He said, right, what's your question? So I said, look, I said, all I want to know is, I said, there's 400 of you here at this meeting. All those who are working for the council, put your hands up.
Yeah.
Right? And 3/4 of them put their hands up. Now, I don't have to draw the picture, do I? Here's these so-called revolutionaries having a talk about unemployment, and they're working for the council. They was putting letters, threatening letters into brown envelopes and sending them off to the poorer members of our society, the underclass, threatening with court action if they didn't pay the poll tax.
Yeah.
So when I said that is not a revolutionary act to put threatening letters in envelopes and sending them off. And their argument was to me, well, he said, you'd like us all to be unemployed, would you? So I said, yes, yes. And then you can be out on the streets then with all this so-called knowledge and pass it on to those who need to be taught. Not having them come to you. You call to them. Like Bakunin did. Like Marx did even. He went to them and wrote books and that. Engels. He, you know.
Yeah.
So I just hope he can
Hope
get
you've
this
got
on.
this. Hope you've got this.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right.
Yeah.